Hello? Are you there?
Go on, Reginald. Go on. Just drop your question. We're listening to you.
Let me ask your guest just a straight, direct question. Talking about accountability, how much does President Buhari spend in that problem he had the other day? How much does he spend? Nigeria want to know total package amount he spent.
Spend where? Where?
Talking about transparency. Thank you.
Spend where, Reginald? Your question is not clear.
Okay. Hello.
Your question is not clear. How much is President spend where?
The other time he went for something in England. How much does he spend for the total package of the spending? How much does he spend? Nigerian money. How much does he spend?
Okay, Reginald. Thank you for your thought. Let's talk to Ibikunle very quickly. Hi, Ibikunle. Good morning to you.
Hello, Shali.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. I want to, as a school principal, I run a school. And anytime I come on assembly ground, I ginger the spirit of my students. I want to ask Mr. Femi Adeshina, and if he doesn't have the answer, I want him to encourage the president to come out and speak to us.
Ibikunle, just ask your question.
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us, as in to have a media chat with the press, so that from there he can speak to us?
Okay, Ibikunle, thank you for calling me. Mr. Adeshina.
Thank you. I just want to encourage Mr. Ibikunle not to continue to sound like a broken record. When this COVID thing began, President should talk to us, President should talk to us, President should talk to us. He has had 3 national broadcasts within about a month. What else do they want? What else do they want? Some people think because either you elected a president or you didn't elect him, you must lead your president by the nose. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshina, isn't the president elected by the people? Name?
Isaac.
Welcome, Isaac. Where are you calling from, Isaac?
From Lagos.
Go on ahead with your question, Isaac.
Yeah. I just discovered that your time with Mr. Adeshina is a wasted time. He tried to dodge all your questions and what people were trying to ask him.
Isaac, can you go straight to your question?
Every record-keeping Nigerians, we expect what Mr. Adeshina has said. So there is no need wasting people's time, wasting people's money, asking what the answer that will never come.
Isaac, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Let's leave room for those who want to ask questions. Please, I'm begging. It's important that we just ask. There are people that have questions to ask. Ladipo, you say hi. Ladipo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff. Good morning, Mr. Adeshina.
Thank you.
My question to you is this, sir. You said people don't have to order the president around to do this and that. Don't you think, sir, on a moral ground, that the president is supposed to have a media chat where he'll be able to answer questions, especially on this present crisis on ground, instead of giving us a pre-recorded broadcast once in a while? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ladipo. Mr. Adeshina.
Thank you. It's a matter of opinion and a matter of style. If the president chooses to adopt the broadcast style, that is his style. If you recall school days, depending on what you studied, in the stylistics class, you are told that style is idiosyncratic. What does that mean? It differs from person to person. That is the style of this president. Another president could come and he will adopt a different style. So the style that this president has adopted, let's accept it and let it suffice for us. There was a time they said he was not speaking. And then within a month, he made 3 broadcasts. What else do people want, really?
Okay, Mr. Adeshina, let's talk to Samuel. Hi, Samuel. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Can you speak up, Samuel?
Good morning, Sheriff.
Where are you calling from, Samuel?
Yanasash.
Okay, I was trying to get the name of that Iyano. I couldn't get the sash well. Samuel, go ahead with your question.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Thank you.
Actually, I want to ask, why is it that our president, his speech is not always live speech? Like the last speech that he gave was leaked. I want to know why it was leaked. Even as he was reading it on the television, I've already read it on the internet. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. Mr. Adeshina.
Well, that has been explained.
He said, why is it that the president's speech, is never live?
Yes, I'm coming to that. There are two things in what he asked.
Right.
He said, why is it that he had already read it on the internet? What he read on the internet was not the authentic version of the broadcast. It was an early version that a mischief maker got hold of and released on social media. And there were so many discrepancies between that version and the final version. And then, why is it not live? Not all broadcasts are live. Not all broadcasts are live. Presidential broadcasts are really live. They are really live. They are pre-recorded 1 or 2 hours before broadcast. Presidential broadcasts are really live.
Mr. Adeshina, before we move away from that, I have a question that the last caller asked earlier, and I want to let's expatiate further, Mr. Adeshina. Who is this person you tagged public enemy, or the enemy of the state? Who is this person?
The security agencies are working on it, and Nigerians will be brought up to speed eventually, because that person will have his day in court.
Is this person connected to the presidency in whatever way? Because I'm wondering, Mr. Adeshina, hold on, Mr. Adeshina, I'm wondering if you and your team gathered together to put a speech together, how did it get out from your team? It must have gotten out from your team.
You also probably didn't read what I wrote,
right,
or interviews I had granted earlier. Presidential broadcasts are generated from the relevant agencies or ministries or parastatals. They are not necessarily generated from within. This was on COVID. There is a presidential task force on COVID. Right. So it stands to reason that it will be generated from that task force. So it was the generated text that somebody now released to the social media. And that text had gone through many modifications. Many. And that's why there is a huge discrepancy between what was released and the authentic copy.
Let's talk to Chima. Hi, Chima. Good morning to you. Chima, are you there? I don't think Chima is there. Chima is gone. Let's speak another call. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Sodi Emmanuel, I'm calling from Ikorodu in Lagos.
All right, you've got a question.
Femi Adeshina, good morning.
Good morning.
Honestly, it is very important that we inform here that a president that was elected by Nigerians can be called to be spoken to Nigerians at any point in time. And it beats my imagination that each time you are being interviewed, the way you speak to Nigerians as though Nigerians are just used tissue paper. These things are not good at all. You understand? And for you to come here with your level of education,
that is the way you see yourself. If you choose to see yourself as used tissue paper, then I can't help you.
Okay.
That is the way you choose to see yourself. But Nigerians are dignified. They are people of dignity. But if you see yourself as a used tissue paper, I can't help you.
Let's speak with Prince Wires. Hi, Prince Wires. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Mr. Seri, for bringing Mr. Adeshina to the studio through phone. Mr. Adeshina, good morning to you.
Prince YS from Mamu Wodofi. Good morning, sir.
Thank you. You are in Abuja. We are hearing your voice in Lagos. Glory be to God. Now, my question is this, sir.
Thank you.
You know, there's a lockdown in Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja. Now, the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs, instead of sharing money in Lagos, he was sharing money After Abuja, you see Maiduguri, you see Katsina. Why not in Lagos? That is my question. And again, finally, this palliative they were talking about, they increased from 2 million to 3 million. The last piece of the surprise, they increased by 1 million. Now, do we not see this in the southwest here or southeast? Why? That's my question, sir.
Thank you, Prince Wise, for calling. Mr. Adeshina.
Yeah, please, can you just summarize his question for me?
Yeah, he wanted to know why the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development went to shared money, the palliatives, the SIB program in other places apart from Lagos, which is, of course, the epicenter of the COVID. Thank you, Prince Wise.
Well, I wouldn't know, because if it's done by the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs, she will be the best person to answer that question. All I know is that the minister is responsible to the president. And at the end of all this, she will submit a report to the president. That is the point in which I then will comment on it.
Okay.
I can't comment on what the minister has done because she is yet to submit a report to the president.
All right, Amadi is here. Amadi, hi, good morning to you.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Where are you calling from, please?
From Ijumu, sir.
Okay. All right. Go on ahead with your question.
I want to ask Mr. Adeshina, the spokesperson of the president, an issue relating to the last time there was a fire incident in 3 or 4 places. And up to now, no report, no issue, not even accountable of what happened has been made to the Nigerian. Palliatives were being shared. Money were hard from Abuja. People were being given money. Can he expatiate on, explain to Nigerians?
Amadi, Mr. Adeshina, did you get the question Amadi asked? Yes, please.
No, I didn't get it. Maybe you could summarize what.
Yeah, I was trying to get this question. He talked about fire incidences. He said nothing was heard about them. He also talked about, sharing of, I can't pinpoint exactly the fire incidences he was talking about. Maybe the Attorney General's, office or something. Accountant General's office.
Yes. So unless we know what he was pushing at in terms of question, it's going to be difficult to answer.
Let's talk to Orelua. He's here. Hi, Orelua. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to say something to Mr. Adeshina. Yeah, this is national broadcast and the whole Nigeria is listening to you. I don't see the reason why you should talk to us with all this ego and arrogance. Sincerely, you are speaking with Nigerians, so you have to at least give us some respect. You're answerable to us. Yeah, we elected the president and you are appointed by him. So whatever it is that we are asking or they are talking to you about, you should be able to at least answer us with respect. Saying someone is sounding like breaking record or someone is, they refer to himself as tissue paper and you can't help that. You don't have to talk to us like that. I don't know why this arrogance and everything. I don't know.
All right, Lua, thank you for calling. Mr. Adeshina.
Just congratulations to Orelua. If that's the way he sees himself, he's welcome to it. Thank you.
Exactly, Francis. Hi, Francis. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff. Good morning, Mr. Adeshina. I've been trying to call since. I wanted to ask this question. You were asked a question about the unemployment increase in the nation during this COVID-19. And you answered that the government has been doing your campaign, that people campaigned with 35 million people. So I was trying to understand, if you are campaigning with 35 million unemployment rate in Nigeria, and now we are getting a report that has
the premise
which we know very much that it is more than that. And you are telling us that you are trying to use the social policy or what is it to give money to 3.6 million families, and which I have gotten information that the money that they give to those families are 5,000. In your thinking, those 5,000 naira, can 5,000 naira feed a whole family for a whole month before the next 5,000 naira is coming? And what policy can that money help a family who doesn't have anything doing?
Francis, I hear your questions, but just to be clear.
Let me complete.
No. Just to be clear, because you're taking too much time, Francis, with your question. Just to be clear, right? Francis, you're done. You're done, actually. You're taking too much question. It's taking too much time. Just to be clear, Francis, Mr. Adeshina did not say 35 million, whatever you're saying. He said 25 million unemployed youths. That is what he said. I would hate for us to misinterpret or try to alter the statement on this show. This show is not for that. If you've got a question, a valid question, I am here to welcome those questions. Mr. Adeshina is here to answer your question. So let's just go straight to the point and ask these questions. Edward is here from Ejigo. Hi, Edward. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, please, you see, what we are passing through in this nation is better to go straight and say, please, let Mr. Adeshina pass our message to the president that things are not working well in this nation. We need him to address the problems of this nation. People are suffering. And when we say that you should come and tell us something, Adeshina will be telling us that he has spoken 3 times or 4 times. It doesn't matter. Anytime we want him to talk, let him come and tell us. Whatever that is happening in this nation, we are not feeling comfortable. Please, Mr. Adeshina, pass our message to the president. Tell him if he cannot do that, let him resign. Please. We are not comfortable anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward, for calling. Appreciate your time. Really, every call is important. Let's see who we have here. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sheriff. This is Richard from Ikoyi.
Welcome, Richard.
Yeah. My direct question to Mr. Adeshina is that what has happened to Dazuki and this other child guy? Why is Buhari still holding on to them despite court judgments on their release? Why is he holding on to them?
All right, Richard. All right, Richard. Richard, I'm sorry. We need to make this very snappy and quick. Mr. Adeshina.
Yes, thank you. Let me respond to the Edward guy that first spoke. 2023 is another year for election. He can run. Who says he can't become president? So when he runs and he becomes president, he can then adopt his own style. Our president has a style, and that is the style he's using. The other one, Dasuki and Zakzaki, the Attorney General has spoken on this many times. And what the Attorney General says suffices, because he's the chief law officer of the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Facebook very quickly, where we're streaming live as we speak. I will take a few questions. Mr. Adeshina can respond to them. Olaiwola Tosin Omolola on Facebook says, please, what's stopping us from digging into the books and figuring out how the Abacha loot repatriated before this administration was spent? Is that an impossibility, Mr. Adeshina?
No, I don't think it's an impossibility. I think it can be done if a forensic audit is carried out.
Are we planning to do such? Is there any plan to do such?
Well, maybe the finance ministry or other people in that sector, if it's considered a priority by government, why not? For the NDDC is going through forensic audits now,
right,
and is spanning over many years. So if government decides to do a forensic audit on how the Abacha loot repatriated between 1999 and 2015 was spent, I'm sure it can be done.
Indeed. Let's get back to the telephone. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, on to Chima.
Good morning. Chima, right?
Yeah, Chima from Preston.
Okay, Chima, go on ahead.
Quickly, I want to ask Mr. Adeshina this morning. The style of the president. He's talked about it a couple of times this morning. Now, Nigerians, the enlightened Nigerians, we are not cool with the style of the president. Always talk to us. Talk to us. Engage us via a media chat. We have questions to ask the president directly. this is not to play the devil's advocate. That is, I'm talking to about Mr. Adeshina. Pass our message to the president. Nigerians want to have a chat with you. Your style is good, yes, but it's not cool with Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you, Chima. Mr. Adeshina.
Well, we seem to be going around in circles on this matter. And the position is that the president has adopted his own style. And that is what we have for now. Another president can come and adopt another style. He will have a right to it. All those who are clamoring, talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. He didn't talk earlier, they were clamoring. He has had 3 broadcasts, they still are clamoring. It shows that head or tail, you never win with some people. If you talk to them every day, they say you are talking too much. You don't talk enough, they say you are not talking enough. So, head or tail, you never win.
Indeed. Ezedum has been on the line for some time now. Ezedum, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Quadry. Good morning, Femi Adeshina. I am Ezedum from Surrey. Quadry, you are great. The 2 questions I have for you. The first one is the suspension and the ban of Punch and the AIT from covering the State House. Is it right to suspend a media house from carrying out their constitutional duty? The second question, sir, as the spokesman of the president, what did you make of the inability of the Minister of Health, Mr. Enahere, to provide answer and feedback on the whereabouts and of the former chief of staff when he was in Lagos, when he asked as a reporter the whereabouts of the former chief of staff, rather the Minister of Health thanked on the reporter because he asked the reporter whether he knew if the question would put him in trouble.
Right.
As the spokesman of the president, what do you have to say that the minister is unable to provide an answer when asked by a reporter whereabouts of the former chief of staff? And what efforts did you put to ensure that the AIT and the Punch newspaper were allowed to do their constitutional duty in State House? Thank you very much, Quadry. You are great.
Thank you, Zelim, for calling. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. There's nothing like suspension of any media house from State House. There's nothing. We have explained it, but unfortunately, some people just hear go, they don't hear come. When something happens and you explain, they still stick to the erroneous one that they had. This is the position. In the State House Press Gallery, you have about 110 journalists covering different media houses, print, electronic, online, different, about 110 of them, inside a hall, a small auditorium. Now, when this COVID crisis began and there was the need for social distancing, we said it would be counterproductive to have over 110 people in that auditorium. What can we do to help them? Because one person gets infected and is spreads it to 110 people. What can we do to help them? We met with the chairman of the State House Press Corps and we said, pick a certain number to cover print, to cover electronic TV and radio, and to cover online. We gave a maximum figure of 16. Pick 16 people who will be representative of the media. And they brought the list. So those 16 people for this period are the ones that can come inside the presidential villa to cover events. And they would then share with the other people who are not there. Does that mean suspension? I think I need to be educated if that means suspension.
Right.
It's for their own good. It's for their own good. For now, stay out. When the situation is conducive, return. So does it mean suspension? I don't understand.
Yeah,
then there is the second part to his question.
The second part to the question. Oh, I can't remember that.
Oh, yes. He was talking about the health minister not confirming that the chief of staff had coronavirus. It's a question of ethics. Under medical ethics, it is only somebody suffering one ailment or the other who can authorize you to speak out on his behalf. Without that authorization, you are in breach of the ethics of the medical profession. So the health minister is a health professional, medical professional. He could not have said it until the chief of staff himself issued a statement saying, "This is what I suffer."
Isn't that supposed to be in the for the sake of public interest? The latest chief of staff.
No. Hippocratic oath, which all doctors swear to.
He wasn't his doctor, was he? Because Hippocratic oath is about you and your patient, the doctor and the patient.
A doctor. Yes, it forbids a doctor from revealing what ails a patient.
But what I'm saying, Mr. Adeshina, is that later Bekari wasn't Dr. Henry's patient, was he?
No, he was somebody's patient. He was a doctor's patient. And when it was time, it was later Bakari who voluntarily disclosed what he was suffering from. That is the way to do it.
Okay, let's speak with Darlington. Hi, Darlington. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Yes. My question goes to Mr. Adeshina because I've been listening to this program. Honestly, I am not happy the way he replies to people because we are all citizens of this nation. We voted for Mr. President. And this is not military regime, whereby when people end their view, you attack them. That is not how to do things. I believe the government sees him to be a qualified person before they employ him to mount that role. The bigger person is spokesperson to the president. So when people ask you questions, people do, if at all the question is offensive, tell the person noted, we'll work on it. No, you've been attacking your fellow citizens. If you are doing this, then you are not qualified for that role. I am so surprised sometimes. I don't know the criteria that we use to elect people in this country. We are all tired of these so-called leaders. I am very, very upset this morning.
Darlington,
on my bed, I've been listening to what Mr. Adeshina, the way he answers people.
Darlington, you still haven't asked any question. Do you have a question? Do you have a question?
No, I'm talking to Mr. Adeshina.
Okay. You made your point then. Let's move on very quickly to those who have questions. Hello, good morning to you.
Well, sorry. I also like to tell Darlington that there's another election.
Please hold on. Please, go on, Mr. Adeshina.
All right.
Okay. Go on.
All right. Good morning.
Position he likes in 2023.
Okay, so I want to ask, because Mr. President tested negative for coronavirus, and since then, nothing has been had live from Mr. President. Everything has been pre-recorded, addressed, and Nigerians have to talk and push before this is done. That is one. Is that normal? That's my question. Is there any problem in Aso Rock? Secondly, where exactly is the vice president? Nobody knows where he is. No public show. He's not stepping up. And on the issue of Abba Kyari and the law guiding medical profession, for instance, Boris Johnson was sick. It was publicized. There was video, there was everything. He was already down. He didn't have the right to issue any statement. He's a public servant. The public had the right to know. Abba Kyari was a public servant. Likewise, every other government official. They owe Nigerians explanation. So we have to know where they are, what happened, and what is happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling me. Mr. Adeshina.
Well, it's mixing up a lot of things. Because things are done according to the cultural milieu in which you operate. Boris Johnson tested positive. He must have given an approval for that information to be made public. It couldn't have just been disclosed without his approval. That's what I'm saying. According to medicine, medical practice, Hippocratic oath, you don't go out to say this is what somebody is suffering from without that person's consent. So he can't sit here and be quoting what happened in UK. He doesn't know what happened, whether Boris Johnson approved or not. So Abakari eventually came out to say, this is what I'm suffering from. That settles the matter. So I don't know why people are just turning it into an issue now. Then what else did he raise?
Let's quickly move on because of time, Mr. Adeshina. We're running out of time. Let's talk to Sylvester, who is in Baghdad. Sylvester, hi, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Hello?
Go on, Sylvester, we're listening to you.
Yes. Now, I wanted to, first of all, commend you for bringing Femi Adeshina to us Nigerians to ask him questions and probably get answers. But it looks as if we're actually fighting. It's like a fight we're having on radio with him, which is unfortunate because Nigerians are upset and they have the right to be upset. He's more like a professional, so he should be able to know how to handle people that are angry. That aside, I also wanted to ask this question. Now, I wanted to ask the reason why it's just now that they want to bring up the issue of implementing the
Orasai report.
God bless you, yes. Why is it now that there's a lot of crisis? We're not even sure of how we're going to manage ourselves as citizens with this social distancing and everything. This is coming up. Is it not coming rather at a time where we have real crisis? Thank you.
All right, Sylvester. Mr. Adeshina, very quickly because we're out of time.
Yes, I didn't quite get the question.
It was asking why we want to implement a RSI report now when we have crisis on our hands, basically.
Yes, what is the report meant to achieve? It's meant to reduce government expenditure. So, what time should we reduce government expenditure rather than now? Things are down. Economy is down. Income is down. So this is the time to reduce government expenditure.
Mr. Adeshina, thank you so much for joining me on the Morning Crossfire today. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have